Hey, what's up? It's Matt again, and welcome to part 2 of how to create a simple sales page that converts. So I didn't know that this was going to go on and turn into multiple parts and pieces, but here we are. It did. So we're going to make another video here, and I'm going to continue walking you through this. So if you didn't catch the previous video, I'll leave a link backwards to that. I'll probably leave a link up here. Go check that out. But a quick recap. Basically, we're looking at the content that converts page, and we're kind of breaking it down and just saying, here, if you hack this page, if you rebuild this page, you're going to have a really simple, really easy to use funnel page that you can use over and over for every offer that you come up with and want to create. If you're like, hey, I have this wild-brained idea and want to create something, then you can use this, create some graphics and some content, some copy, pop it into the same template and sell it. So it's got, it calls out attention to who it goes to. It's got the headlines, easy to read content, and a button, whatever, and then some more graphics. But we're going to get down here into the stack. So right there gave you pretty much all 15 minutes of the video that I made the last time on this. Feel free to go watch that if you want to see it more in depth as we continue looking at this content that converts. So if you guys don't want to build this, if you're like, I don't really care, I'm just going to it's one thing to hack a page, guys, and just expect that it would work. But if you don't have good graphics, if you don't have a good offer, if you don't have good copy, it doesn't matter what page. Like, you could take this beautiful page that's, converts probably really well with this and completely screw it up by putting crappy copy and crappy images and putting a crappy offer on the page. Okay, so that's why I'm creating these videos, so that you have a chance, a fighting chance, if you decide to rebuild this. And if you're going to rebuild it, you use something like Go High Level, ClickFunnels, Kartra, I think, right? Kajabi. There's different pages. You can use WordPress, and last I checked, Optimized Press is still a thing. If you wanted a lesser cost, a more cost-effective option to be able to create funnels. So I use ClickFunnels. I will probably rebuild this particular page in ClickFunnels, and then I'll leave a link so you guys can get a hold of that. It'll be down here in the description. So go grab that if you guys get a chance. If you guys are like, hey, this content that converts thing looks cool, you can learn how to create content just like this that converts into a sale of some sort, or even converts into a lead. All right, so those are options for you as well. I'll leave links to that down in the description. Go pick that up. This is a program by Doug Boughton. So yesterday we left off down here, basically after the fold, and the initial calls to action that were part of this. So sorry, but basically where it goes from here is the stack. So what do I mean when I say the stack? I use a lot of techno babble. The more videos I make, the more I'm like, would anybody even know some of these, like, little keywords and things that I've picked up over the last 15 years? Would they have any clue what I'm talking about? I guess it depends on where you come from. But the stack is part of your offer. Even offer could be kind of one of those buzzwords. But the offer is what you come up with to be able to solve a problem for your customer, right? So, and somewhere along the line, probably maybe it was Frank Kern. I remember he used to say stack the cool a lot, right? When he said stack the cool, he was talking about the stack, right? He was talking the offer stack, which is, hey, what do you get? What are you going to get when you exchange money for one thing or the other, for the value that's going to get you the result that you're looking for? So if you give Doug Boughton, not me, if you give Doug Boughton $27, then you are going to get the result, which in this case is right in the name of the program, content that converts. And here's what you're going to get. And again, I'm going through this. It almost sounds like a pitch, the way that I'm kind of explaining this, but it's really not meant to be a pitch. I'm actually explaining what a pitch is, so it sounds like a pitch. So, but you're going to look at this. So he's got section 1, section 2, section 3, section 4, section 5. This particular section of this page could be easily built and rebuilt. And then you could just duplicate the section. So once you build this, it's a two column row, and then inside of the 2-column row, you've got a button or a graphic. This is looks like possibly a button with some internal button graphics there, and like whatever. It really doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into the specific elements that were used here. Graphics, some content, what you're going to get, some bullets that explain what you're getting, make it undeniable. So the feature, why your content feels invisible. Okay, wait. Your movement message. So session 1, creating your movement message, why your content doesn't convert yet. So again, and we talked about this yesterday, is that you're hitting on a problem. They need to solve a problem. So each one of these sessions should call out a problem that you can solve, and then what they're going to learn inside of that. So here, we're calling out the problem, why your content doesn't convert yet. Okay, session 2, where to go? Went over here. Turn one message into a scalable content system that sells for you. That one's not as much of a problem, but content clarity method, it at its core, it's talking about a problem that's in place. But it's really telling you what you're going to get once you go into this session. Let's look at this one. Create it once, use it everywhere. And then what they're going to get. What's the features and the benefits? These are just bullets. Feature benefit bullets. That's getting into copywriting. Session 4. Shift beliefs, nurture trust, enroll clients. And what they're going to do. Breaking that down. I don't think these are drop downs. Those are just arrows there. So, session 5. Again, so each thing that gets created needs to go through a logical order. This isn't as much about an offer creation thing here, but offer creation is a video that I should make for you guys, so I'll probably make something like that for you coming up. And just make a video that is all offer creation, because honestly, you could have a crappy page and like that looks like junk. But if you put together a good offer for your people, guess what? They're going to purchase. They're going to, because why? Because they want a solution to the problem that they're having. Maybe they want to lose 100 pounds. Maybe they want to find love in their life. Maybe they want to make, $10,000 in the next 2 weeks. Whatever it is, they have a problem. They need to get it solved. And it doesn't matter if your page looks fancy. This particular page, this funnel is not that fancy. It's pretty simple, but it looks good. It's not overly fancy. There's not a bunch of moving things and all kinds of stuff coming out of the framework here. So it looks good, bottom line. So there might be a third video on this, because I can already, again, feel myself rambling and going on about this. So there might be a third piece to this video. Keep an eye out for that. So anyway, we've talked about it. Create your section here. What if one single workshop you finally unlock the secret? What if in one single workshop you finally unlock the secret to automated profits for your business? Okay, so you're really, you're kind of shining a light on what life could look like. What would their business look like? What could unlock that secret? What would make them break out of a rut that's like, what is wrong with my life? What do I need to do? How can I make my business and my life different? What can I do to get there? And if this video could do it, not this video, if this course could do that, in words of Doug Boughton, of course. Now, I'm not giving Doug Boughton words. He didn't say that, but he wrote this, or somebody wrote that for him. And so he's saying, what if this could do that? What if you could unlock the secrets to automated profits in your business? Okay, everybody's got their system. Doug's got his system. I have a system. I mainly talk about affiliate marketing and creating simple funnels, which is, this is more traffic and content. So if you can take traffic and content, turn it into an automated sales system where you get passive income, why wouldn't you go through and continue scrolling? So you come up with something like this. Hell, you could put this through ChatGPT and probably come up with something different, because you don't want to steal what Doug said. You don't want to steal what I said. You don't want to steal what somebody else said. Okay? You want to come up with something that is going to make people scroll and say, yeah, I want that. That's what I need. That's the solution to the problem that I have, and I need that. So they're going to go through here and start looking at each one of the parts and pieces of that program. And for $27, this is if you go to Doug Boughton's school, and I'll leave a link for that as well. He has a kind of a community-based school group, and inside of it, you can buy this program and it costs $1,000. It literally, it says that it's $1,000. Let me see if I can find it real quick. There it is. So if you guys aren't familiar with school kind of has like a classroom, calendar, community aspect to it. But you can create a bunch of courses in here, and you can actually see right here, content that converts, $1,000. If I were to click into that, I don't have access to it. I have access to it elsewhere. But if I were to buy it here, it's $1,000, right? But if I get it here, it's only $27. So you can actually come over here, go through this process, get content that converts, workshop, and the GPTs. So you get custom. That's one thing that I've really enjoyed about working with Doug and his different programs that I have purchased from him, is that he has all these custom GPTs. They've been the most helpful from anything that I've purchased from him. You get this whole thing for $27. Why not, right? So anyway, that's what this section here is about, and that's going to lead into, okay, this is what you get. You really need a call to action after that. So discover a new hands-off method that turns strangers into clients in days. Really give them an overall benefit of what they're going to get. So they're going to get a hands-off method that turns strangers into clients in days. That's freaking cool. And then give them a way to purchase right here, or give them a way at least to go forward. In this case, they're getting names and email addresses before putting them on an order page. That way, if they bounce, they at least have them on a sales page. So there is a method to the madness behind this, right? So that's the method to this. So we're about halfway through this page here. Get brand new frameworks tested over the past. Give them basically he's given like a quick, here's, if everything that I just talked about up here wasn't enough reasons for you to go through and click over here, he just gives you another one. Why not just add it here? That's the call to action. Put your first name and your email address in there and move forward in that process, right? And so down here, I'm just going to buzz through here and see what else we're looking at. I've been through this a few times, but the whole third section of this, and maybe even a little bit more, is nothing but testimonials, social proof, and proof. Okay, mostly social proof here. And so all he did was get screenshots of people that he's worked with. They gave him a review, and they said, here, all right, Doug is the mentor everyone needs. He's always over-delivers and whatever. All I'm saying is this is the easiest way to build a testimonial section on your page. You just go boom, 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 add the testimonials, get the screenshots, take the screenshots, make them look good, and then put them in here. I wonder if he has anything for me. Probably not. But anyway, you can build this out over time. And then, of course, when that's done, people are like, when they see that other people are getting results from your work, they're going to continue working. They're going to be like, now they're really like, oh my gosh, this guy's the real deal. Other people are working with this guy, and they're getting results. Okay, if they can see that other people are doing it, then they're going to be more likely to take action and do something. Okay, so you've got to get your testimonials in there. You must have gotten, you don't have it, this guy's got a lot. Doug's been around for a while and gotten a lot of results with other people, and that's a big thing. Even a lot of people will just not create this section, or they're afraid to get started if they only have like one or two testimonials. Mine's not nearly this long. My testimonial list is like this. This is like this long, right? So you don't have to start here. You can start with just a few testimonials. Just work with somebody for free. Get something out there, right? Q&A, call to action. Here's another call to action. Here's some bonuses that he's like, oh, by the way, if everything up here wasn't enough yet, you're even going to get these over here. Get my custom GPT and prompts to set this up in less than 5 hours. Evergreen in between launches, how I get more clients in between live launches. Join the workshop. Break free from hard selling. Whatever. You know, he's still putting in more calls to action with more stack. This is the stacking the cool part that Frank Kern came up with back in the day. And that's the first place that I heard it. I'm sure the concept had been around before that. And then, of course, you know, Q&A. These are pretty basic. So testimonials. And then come down here. You got the Q&A. Just answer some basic questions. that might push people over the edge. In any sales environment, you're going to have to overcome objections, and that's what this is here. Well, I don't know. I've got to talk to my wife or my husband. Who's this class for? Is this really for me? Is this going to work for me in any way? Will I get direct feedback, et cetera, et cetera? Have a Q&A page. Put your own questions in there, okay? This page can be rebuilt pretty quickly. There's the fancy stuff that's way down at the bottom. All right, so basically down here he's got his footer, and that was it. There really was, I could burn through that. So it calls out who it's for, headlines, some basics. The above the fold area is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting, or people are just going to kind of burn through here and just look at some of this stuff. So a lot of people won't even look at the majority of what they're seeing. They're going to look at headlines, and they're just going to burn it. They're going to see, does the imagery look good? They're going to look at the imagery and go, is this for me? Yes, click, okay? And then if they click, it just burns down the page and goes to exactly where they need so that they can move forward, okay? There's another headline. There's actually a word for that when somebody just scrolls through and they just look at headlines, discovering, okay, that is what I want. Get brand new frameworks. Yeah, that is what I want. Yep, it looks like he's got some people in his group. Testimonials, social proof is good. Okay, they come down here, still have questions. Yeah, okay, look, yeah, okay, obviously he answered some questions. Bam, I'm going to buy it. It scrolls up here. My opinion, if you're going to scroll that far up, you should probably at least scroll them to here where they can actually make go to where they need to go to move forward and go through the order process. So very simple, very quick and easy. That process that I just showed you where they're going through the headlines actually has a name. It's called dual path readership. So the dual path, one of them is the headlines, the other one is all the small stuff. So they're like, this is the second path. So the first one is the larger stuff for the people who are just going to, kind of go through here, look at some of the stuff. The second path is everybody kind of going through and looking at the small stuff. So you don't just want to have all headlines, and you don't want to have just all smaller paragraphs and little stuff right here. At least make your stuff look decent. You can hack this page very easily. You might be able to get this from Doug in the course, in one of his courses. It may not be this one, but I haven't seen any share funnels. But I might make a share funnel. If I do, I'll leave a link down in the description. You guys can just pick this up. So, all right. That's all I got. If you guys think that what we've been talking about actually sounds like something that would be helpful for you, if you want to create content similar to this and then have that actually be effective and actually convert people into a money-paying client of some sort, then you might want to just click on the link down in the first comment or in the description. Grab yourself a copy of Content That Converts. Don't get it for $1,000. Get it for $27 while you can. That is not my money. That is Doug Boughton's money, okay? He does have an affiliate program. I might get a little bit from it, but that's this. That's everything in a nutshell. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. All right, catch you guys later.